Cloud first, cloud for all. Say hello to the new Xperience Managed Cloud Service. Thanks for coming along to this session today. It's really great to see so many of you here, and it's my absolute pleasure to introduce to you the new Xperience Managed Cloud Service. But first, as I'm a relatively new member of the Kentico Xperience product team, and this is my very first connection event, yay! I thought I would take this opportunity to introduce myself a little bit more to you. So my name is Debbie Tucek, and despite my very Czech name and the fact that I live in Prague, I am actually Australian. I joined the Kentico Xperience product team in June last year, and my areas of responsibility within the team focus on content management. And as you might have guessed from the topic of today's presentation, I'm the cloud lead as well. So before we dive in, here's a little bit of an overview as to what I'm going to talk about today. Firstly, we're going to go through cloud as a part of our product strategy, and so that you understand where it sits within our portfolio. We're going to take a look at what is going to be incorporated into the service, and we'll finish up the session with a brief walkthrough of the user experience from provisioning to production, and take a sneak peek of the Cloud Service Management portal to see how it's shaping up. I won't be going into too much technical specifications or operational detail at this particular point in time, mainly because it's going to take way too much time to transfer all that information to you, much longer than my time slot today is going to allow me. But don't worry, we will have full partner training, and it's going to be available to you and very, very soon. So please be on the lookout for that, and I really look forward to spending the time diving in and exploring all parts of the cloud service with you. So, cloud for all, a key part of the Xperience by Kentico strategy. As you heard yesterday, during the strategy presentation by Mathieu Stefanik, strengthening our ability to support partners and customers who are using Xperience by Kentico in the cloud is one of the 4 strategic directions that we are taking with Xperience by Kentico. Why are we placing this focus on cloud? Well, this is frankly a really easy question to answer. Why is cloud important to us? Because it's important to our customers. It's important to everyone these days. We are all on some kind of cloud journey or embarking on a digital transformation project. And the recent global pandemic has fast-tracked a lot of these digital projects, even the ones that were previously kind of suspended indefinitely or sitting on the shelf waiting for a better time. Well, the time is very much now. In 2020 alone, over 50% of websites and web apps had either been migrated to the cloud or were in the process of being migrated. And it's not just on-premise to cloud movement that we're seeing. Many customers are moving away from private cloud in favor of public cloud. The other thing that we can see from looking at this chart is that DXPs are really not that much different to applications like Microsoft 365 and ERPs, CRMs, collaboration platforms, and other kinds of major business applications when it comes to migrating to the cloud and the speed at which this is happening. And as we know, these business applications are some of the most common integrations that a DXP implementation project is going to have to focus on. So cloud is undeniably a growth area for us and therefore must be part of our long-term strategy. For us, placing cloud front and center in our product strategy is a clear commitment to the future. It means that we want all of our customers to have access to their Xperience by Kentico digital experience platform via the cloud, and to be able to outsource the day-to-day operations of managing and maintaining their infrastructure to someone else, particularly someone they trust, be it the Kentico Xperience division, or perhaps one of our partners, like Brian McKeever, who was speaking on this particular topic earlier today in track 3. Therefore, for us, the Xperience Managed Cloud Service is just the beginning of our experience in the cloud with you. So what is the service? As the name would suggest, it is a managed service that enables you to deploy and manage your Xperience projects quickly and easily in Microsoft Azure. It enables partners and your end clients to access the Xperience Admin UI and the live sites from pretty much anywhere that you have internet. And it comes with a 24/7, 365 support and 99.9% availability. There are a number of advantages to opting for the Xperience Managed Cloud Service. Remaining true to our brand, we have opted for a clear, transparent, easy to understand offering and pricing model. Unlike most of our competitors who've been taking a consumption-based or metered model, we're actually going to be offering predictable ongoing prices for our customers. So the fixed price model, which means that they don't have to worry about how much their bill is going to cost from one month to the next. They always know how much they're going to be spending. And we know this from all of the conversations that we've been having with customers who are transitioning off other competitors, that they really are not happy with having fluctuating prices month by month. It really makes it difficult for them to budget. And that's what we don't want. We want them to have one payment for experience and all of the operational services and support. And of course, with us, as you would expect, unlimited developers and users do. Plus, another thing that we've included out of the box is a robust email service and dedicated IP address, which I don't think is very common amongst our competitors either. So if you wish, you can focus on coding and consulting instead of managing the infrastructure, while still retaining control over all your deployments and updates. But wait, I hear you cry. Some of us are already providing such a service for our customers, and this is absolutely true. So who is the service designed for? Well, remember what I said about our strategy being cloud for all? So not everyone is able to nor wants to manage their DXP in the cloud. But I can pretty much guarantee that the vast majority of DXP customers do want a cloud service. And as we saw in Mathieu Stefanik's strategy presentation yesterday, this demand is just predicted to keep on increasing. The focus of our cloud service, therefore, is on our customers broadly, but specifically the ones that are highlighted here in this particular screen. Firstly, those partners who really don't want to manage their infrastructure and prefer to focus on perhaps marketing, consulting, helping their customers to really make the most of the multi-experience capabilities that they have available to them, perhaps focusing on design and development projects instead. Secondly, the direct channel customers who want to develop and manage the DXP themselves, but don't want to manage the infrastructure once again. So our direct channel is increasing, and this group of customers needs better cloud support from us, their vendor. So when it comes to those partners who are already running Xperience either in AWS or in Azure themselves, we fully expect that they're going to continue to keep offering this amazing service to their customers. For these partners, we simply are providing them with an alternative should they get a client who's specifically looking for a vendor-managed offering. So where does this new service sit within our product portfolio? So on the left-hand side in the blue, we have Kentico Xperience 13. On the right side, we have Xperience by Kentico. So Xperience 13, our current flagship product, and the new Xperience by Kentico will be available in a license-only form. This means that for partners or direct channel customers who want to host their DXP in Azure or AWS or private cloud, or indeed employ it on their premises, can absolutely go ahead and do that. So that's the license-only option. However, with Xperience by Kentico, we're adding the additional deployment option of the Xperience Managed Cloud Service. And note that it is only available with the forthcoming Xperience by Kentico product. Unlike the license-only model, all of the infrastructure costs and support are included within the subscription payment. So the really great news is that this means that customers who want to get Xperience by Kentico in the cloud have a number of options available to them now. They can have their DXP managed by us, they can have it managed by their partner, or they can manage it themselves. So why have we chosen Microsoft Azure? I thought that I would mention this as part of my presentation today because it has been raised by a number of our partners and members of our sales team. Why not Azure or GCP or any of the other cloud service providers? Well, fair question. And there are a number of reasons why we've chosen Microsoft Azure. First and foremost, it's fast growing. 80% of Fortune 500 companies are now on Azure. Familiarity and compatibility. the technology stack that we run on is a Microsoft technology stack. Therefore, it makes a lot of sense, seeing as we're using Windows and .NET, for us to be using Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure also has a really global reach, lots of data centers and more that are being introduced every year. The most important thing for us from this perspective, though, is that they have more data centers in more regions around the world. And we think that this provides us with a lot more opportunities for our customers. Microsoft is heavily investing in complementary services as well, which means, again, more things that we can use to customize and more things that your customers can access if they want to spice things up a little bit in their DXP. They have a very strong enterprise focus, as we know, great offering and broad customer reach. And like most really good cloud service providers, they're infinitely scalable and have strong interoperability. Okay, so you're going to have to excuse my attempt at architectural diagramming here, but I find that this high-level view is really useful when helping to explain what our service entails. So our service deploys dedicated environments for our customers. So a customer cloud tenant, represented by that blue box on the right-hand side, is deployed as a single tenant within Azure. Now, why do we go with the single tenant model? Well, first and foremost, Xperience itself is not multi-tenanted, it is multi-site. So we also wanted to leverage some of the advantages of the single tenant model. Now, there are three key advantages, which is first and foremost security. So it gives you greater assurance with regard to the regional data residency obligations, and gives you peace of mind that your customer data is really truly residing within the region that you want it to be, or need it to be, should I say. And also because it is a dedicated environment, it means that there is a smaller number of people who have access to your resources and, importantly, that data. Customization is the second advantage. So if you have control over an entire environment, so you have one to yourself, it means that you can add new features and functionality. You can customize it as you need it to, because as you are very much aware, customizability and extensibility is one of the key selling points of our brand, and it's something that we want to maintain going forward. So we need to have environments which enable people this kind of flexibility. And thirdly, dependability. With a single tenant model, you're not competing for resources. Everything that is there is dedicated for you, which means that they're abundant and available anytime you need them. Now, moving right along, well, actually, let's move to the left, which is the service management portal. That's the little blue box in the middle. This is a plain entity framework-based MVC application, and it's the primary access point for all of your projects. So it doesn't matter how many customers you have or how many regions they're deployed in, the service management portal enables you to access all of them from one single point. So you can switch very readily between them and keep an eye on them easily. The secure process that you can see, that's that little lightning bolt there. It's running between the tenant management platform, which is the purple box on the left, as well as the portal in the middle and the customer tenant on the right. That's representing our deployment automation process. And we'll go through that a little bit later when I do the provisioning to production walkthrough. As I mentioned earlier, the DXP license is included in the subscription bundle. As a minimum, you will get one dedicated production environment and one non-production environment, and that is on our smallest tier. All of the other larger tiers will have 3 environments as a minimum, straight out of the box. You'll also obviously have access to the portal that I mentioned earlier, so you can manage everything from one point. And of course, it will have seamless licensing, which means that you don't have to manually update your license keys. We'll do all of that for you. So what's in the box, or in this point, what's in the service? So what I've done is I've separated them out in all of the features and functionality into the things that you can kind of tangibly get at via the portal, and all of the things that we have running under the hood in the background. So via the portal, you'll be able to get an overview of all of your environments and your active deployments. You can see your deployment history and access the logs to be able to troubleshoot or confirm things if you need to. User account management, of course, health status alerts and notifications. And you can access the live site directly and log into the Xperience admin from there. Under the hood, we have lots of things going on. So we have programmatically triggered deployments from your CI/CD pipeline, obviously deployment automation between all of the builds so that we have zero downtime as you promote the builds between those environments. We have security, automatic backups, CDN and auto-scaling, monitoring and log analysis, and of course the integrated emailing service and dedicated IP address that I mentioned earlier. So how much will it cost? I can hear everyone kind of asking me this question. I'm sure it's sitting in your mind because I think there's been at least one person in every single webinar that I've done on cloud for the last few months that has asked me this very same question. How much will it cost? So I'm really pleased to finally be able to tell you today. As mentioned by Dominic in his presentation yesterday, we're going out to market with 2 initial service tiers, with others to follow in the near future. Not only will we be releasing a large standard tier for the digital marketing professionals who are doing lots of global site management, but we will also offer a custom tier and a range of value-added options. That means that you can tailor your service to whatever you need it to be in the near future. The prices are on the screen here for you. We believe they are pretty competitive. And remember, it's a fixed price model shown here as an annual price. So each of our cloud tiers is loosely matched to the digital experience maturity model of our customers and the amount of traffic that their websites are attracting each month, and obviously the performance required to meet those needs. We expect all of our customers to be using a minimum of 2 digital channels. The small tier is catering for customers who are not really investing heavily into multi-channel marketing, but are tending to rely primarily on web and digital channels and are roughly going to be getting approximately 1 million or more page views per month on their site. The medium tier beefs things up a lot in terms of the database specification. Obviously, it's going to be far more performant, a lot more storage. We've got CDN, caching, etc. So you can see that this tier, the medium tier, is going to be ready for those customers who are delivering via more channels, most likely spending more time on personalization and doing more data analysis and tweaking of their campaigns. They're probably going to be doing tens to hundreds of million page views a month as well. Please note that these descriptions here on the screen refer to the capability and performance of the underlying infrastructure to support Xperience by Kentico features that are going to grow significantly over the year ahead. Initially, though, within the Xperience Adopters program, we are limiting the number of domains to 1 production site. This limitation, though, is only temporary, and we're going to change that in the future as DXP capabilities expand and new features are being enabled. So what's the user experience? So let's quickly walk through the process that goes from purchase and provisioning all the way through to production. So once the subscription purchase has been made, step number 1, and the end user license has been agreed on, we will automatically provision a tenant with the appropriate service tier specification within the Azure region that you've requested. Step number 2. The Xperience license will be active from day 1 when the tenant service is provisioned, and the person that you nominated as your first tenant admin user will get access to the Cloud Service Management portal for that particular account. Now, step 3, we can generate a developer license directly through your Cloud Service Management portal and start installing the software locally and start your development process using the Cloud Services CLI template. Once your web project has been developed, you can prepare the artifact for deployment. It's uploaded to the Xperience customer's deployment repository from your CI/CD pipeline, and that is managed by secure access tokens to prevent data exposure via inadvertent access. Our event monitoring service will detect that the package has been uploaded, and it will be immediately deployed to the customer's development environment. We apply the customer's commercial license, so you don't need to manually input any of the license keys. Accessing the cloud portal again, step 4, you can monitor the deployment process and check whether that particular deployment has been successful or not. And if there are any problems, then you can view the deployment logs, or indeed you can verify that the changes that you have wanted to make have been successfully implemented. Once happy with the state of the web project, you can then deploy the build to either UAT or the production environment and monitor the performance and operational status from there. Promoting the deployment from UAT to production takes place with zero downtime whenever the database hasn't been updated. And we perform a backup of the existing production data automatically as part of that process. It does make the push to production a little bit longer, but we feel that it's a far better quality experience, and it's always good to have that backup done in place. And particularly if you are really busy and you kind of forget to manually trigger the backup first, it's always good if it's automatically done in the background. So one last note regarding the deployments. I mentioned the programmatic connection to your CI/CD pipeline that enables you to deploy to dev. And in future, we will be introducing support for container deployments and the manual upload via the portal as well, because based on the research that we've done amongst our partners, these are the 3 primary ways in which they feel that they would want to be able to deploy through to the cloud environment. In Dave Komarik's demonstration of the next generation Xperience by Kentico, he mentioned that the new DevNet is running in our cloud service, and it most certainly is. I did take a quick recording of the site when it was initially deployed, and I wanted to share this sneak peek with you. Now, remember, it is an early version of the portal. There are a lot more features that are currently being worked on and are about to be deployed, and will be ready for you to utilize at the start of the Xperience Adopters program. However, I need to warn you that when I recorded the video, it seemed like I was going through it really slowly. However, when I looked back at it, it's actually a lot faster than I would have liked. So I'm going to explain what you're going to see before we dive in. So first and foremost, I'm going to log into the Cloud Service Management portal, and we're going to look at the deployment screen. DevNet is deployed in the dev environment. And as you'll see that there are 3 environments within that you can see within the portal. That's the dev, the UAT, and prod. So you can tell right away that this is running on a medium tier, not the small, because the small only has 2. You'll see that there's the deployment history and that you can access the logs for each of the deployment. And then we're going to quickly click through to the live site that's running in the development environment and log into the Xperience Admin UI. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so I'm logging into the Cloud Service Management portal. We can see that there's not much there at the moment, but it's coming. The dev, the UAT, and the production environments are there. And if I wanted to, I could deploy the build that's in dev to UAT or production. There's a deployment history. At the moment, they've only deployed into the dev environment. You can see the logs. I've clicked through into the live site, and I can then access the admin UI from there. Okay, short and sweet. So where to from here? As I said earlier, bringing this managed cloud service to market is just the beginning of our cloud journey. In late 2022 and then throughout 2023, there are a range of optimizations and enhancements that we have planned for this service, from automatic update assistance to developer tools, product analytics and usage and performance, development insights, and anomaly detection. And these are just a few. And by the way, when I'm talking about anomaly detection, I'm not just talking about security here. And last, but definitely not least, let's do just that. Let's talk about security, round things out today. The managed cloud service is subject to penetration tests, as you would expect. It is developed and operated in accordance with our ISO 27001 security certification, and we will be undergoing SOC 2 Type 1 and 2 certification processes this year. And that brings me to the end of the presentation. I sincerely hope that you found it of value, and I look forward to discussing all things cloud with you in our product Q&A session that immediately follows this one. Don't forget to keep your eye out for that partner training session for the cloud service, where we will deep dive into all the technical specifications of each tier and provide you with all the information you need about buying, selling, and working with the Xperience Managed Cloud Service. Enjoy your day.